Yeah, we don't want to talk about that. We're gonna get through this.
Send him some on something. He look like a bum.
Floyd?
Yeah, he looking like a bum. Had like he ain't shaved in months.
Oh yeah, I seen that too.
There's no way this man is broke. There's no way.
Yeah.
If he is,
I don't know
where the money went to.
Exactly.
You know what? Yeah, what y'all say earlier?
He ran up $1 billion.
What'd you say?
My first investment was real estate.
Wow.
I went from commercial real estate, huge, skyscrapers actually. So I own what I own.
Bragging now.
No, I'm not.
Now
bragging.
you're bragging.
No.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
You don't point like this because I know all of them.
Floyd Mayweather's billionaire brand is starting to look like a high-end illusion. The whispers aren't just coming from haters anymore. They're coming from courtrooms, failing businesses, and suspicious property records. Every time he tries to prove how rich he is, it feels more like a desperate attempt to keep the lights on. Recently, he made massive claims about owning NYC real estate that apparently wasn't even in his name. After the heat turned up, he quietly distanced himself from those deals. For a man who built a kingdom on the money team image, the lack of transparency is becoming a red flag that fans can no longer ignore. The cracks are widening, leaving everyone wondering, is Floyd facing a financial knockout?
And it gets worse, your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. I hate seeing this.
It all kicked off with a flex that was too big to swallow. Earlier this year, Mayweather bragged that he didn't just invest in, but fully owned 62 apartment buildings in New York City worth over $400 million. This wasn't just a business move. It was a statement. He wanted the world to know that TBE was winning even bigger in retirement, surrounded by private jets and billion-dollar watches. He painted a picture of a man living without a budget. But the internet is a dangerous place for a bluff. People started digging into public records, and the receipts simply didn't match the hype.
Showing the people how I live. Now, I know you guys see me on a regular talking about real estate. Well, lately, I purchased 62 apartment buildings in New York City. And what I need you guys to do, slide over and check out the photos. It's not all 62 buildings, it's a few buildings, but guess what? All the buildings belong to me. I don't have no partners. And all the retail down low on my buildings.
That's when Business Insider pulled the curtain back. In a bombshell report, they directly challenged Floyd's narrative, stating that investigators couldn't find a single record linking him to the ownership of those buildings. No signatures, no deeds, no legal ties, nothing. While some properties were tucked under shell companies, a common move for the ultra-wealthy, there was still zero proof that Floyd was the one holding the keys. The report didn't say he was flat broke, but it proved his numbers were wildly exaggerated. For a man obsessed with his undefeated image, being called a fraud hits harder than a left hook.
On new investments, I would be making $300 million a month.
What investment is that?
In real estate. I'm heavy in real estate. Even though I got a lot of cash, OPM. You don't always have to use your money. That's why it's very important for y'all to make sure y'all...
Instead of showing the deeds and silencing the critics, Floyd went on the attack. He filed a massive $120 million lawsuit, accusing the outlet of trying to assassinate his character. But to many observers, this felt like a defensive play. If you actually own the buildings, you just show the paperwork and the story dies. By choosing a long, expensive legal battle instead of transparency, he fueled the fire. It looked less like a billionaire protecting his name and more like a man trying to sue his way out of an embarrassing truth.
Now, that's what I do every day. Shop. Hey, number like couple bucks. Greg, come with me.
The drama only got worse from there. While the lawsuit was making headlines, another part of his empire started to crumble in public. His gym brand, Mayweather Boxing Plus Fitness, was marketed as a global takeover that would let regular people train like the champ. But a fresh investigation revealed the brand is on life support. More than half of its US locations have reportedly gone dark, and the company is drowning in over $8 million worth of lawsuits from former franchise owners who say they were sold a dream that turned into a financial nightmare.
30 million just with the patches on my trunks, that's 30 million alone. So who's really the smartest one in the sport of boxing? And they say, well, it's not all about the money. Well, your kids can't eat legacy. They can eat off the currency. If you guys don't want to see me do no exhibitions, don't come, don't watch. I come on record and tell.
These franchise owners aren't holding back. They claimed they were lured in by the Mayweather name and promised that Floyd would be the face of the business. Instead, they allege he did nothing more than film a few promos and disappear. Some owners say they were left bankrupt after being hit with hidden fees and unrealistic revenue goals. As these gyms boarded up their windows, Floyd stayed silent, letting his lawyers do the talking. For someone whose brand is built on domination, watching his business partners go broke under his name is a terrible look.
Here, there's a story circulating that Business Insider did talking about this $400 million property deal that he had been discussing here in New York City. But now, according to Business Insider, it's not what you think it is. They said there's no evidence there's been a sale of these properties, and it's 62 rental apartment buildings in Upper Manhattan. Here.
Then came the comment that shook the industry. Veteran analyst Stephen A. Smith made a quiet but cutting remark, suggesting that Floyd's constant flexing is actually a sign of insecurity. Stephen A. argued that truly wealthy people don't go out of their way to scream about their money every single day. This wasn't a random blogger talking. It was a man who has seen the rise and fall of icons for decades. It hinted that behind the scenes, the money might be moving differently than what we see on Instagram, and the constant jewelry displays are just a mask for a tightening budget.
Investments that I did was New York real estate. So it started off with 7 figures, and I was getting a certain amount of money every month. When I first gave them $5 million, I was getting $50,000 a month. So I said, yo, the money kept coming on the 18th every month. 50,000 would come in. I still was competing, I still was fighting, I still was active, and I still was making.
Even Floyd's clapbacks are starting to feel outdated. He recently posted a photo by a private jet with the caption, "If this is what being broke looks like, I want to stay broke." In 2015, that would have been a legendary flex. In 2025, it feels empty. A jet photo doesn't erase a $120 million lawsuit or a failing gym franchise. Insiders claim his overhead is astronomical, with property taxes and a massive entourage eating away at his liquid cash. Unless he has a secret vault of gold, maintaining a billionaire lifestyle on an exhibition fight salary is a math problem that doesn't add up.
You know what's crazy? People are always in my fucking business, worried about what I'm doing, what Floyd is doing, what Floyd ain't doing, what I do got, what I don't got.
The spotlight is also turning toward his billion-dollar watch collection. While he claims they are worth a fortune, luxury experts warn that custom, iced-out watches often lose massive value because they are too specific to one person's taste. The same goes for his mansions and car collections. They are liabilities, not assets. What's most telling is what Floyd isn't doing. He's not buying sports teams, launching tech startups, or making major VC moves. He's in defensive mode, protecting what he has rather than building what's next.
May not be how they seem. So a couple weeks back, I talked about it here on the show. Floyd Mayweather said he dropped $402 million on 62 Manhattan rental buildings. But Business Insider went and did the research. They did their Googles, and they said they couldn't find any receipts that this is true. There were no deed transfers, no public records, nothing. They made some phone calls to owners, and they could not find any information.
The real concern isn't whether Floyd is broke today. It's about the trajectory. He's facing a perfect storm, aging out of the ring, mounting lawsuits, and a brand that's losing its Midas touch. Instead of evolving into a sophisticated mogul, he's stuck in a loop of legal battles and showing off 10-year-old assets. When a king's crown starts to look like tinfoil, the public stops bowing. If he doesn't pivot soon, his wealth won't end with a bang, but with a quiet, steady decline as the bills finally catch up to the legend.
Buildings in New York City.
So embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But
behind the filtered vacation shots and the exotic cars, the boxing world is starting to speak up. The loudest critics aren't internet trolls. They're the people who know the business best. From former rivals like Amir Khan to powerful promoters like Eddie Hearn, the consensus is shifting. They've seen the books, they've seen the contracts, and they're all saying the same thing. The money image is cracked, and Floyd might be closer to the edge than he's willing to admit.
400 million. So it's a lot more, but that's just one of the portfolios I happen to purchase in 2024.
Wow. And that's how it's blossoming.
Well, you know, the number is growing each and every day. Like I said, the number is growing each and every day. That's one of my buildings in Manhattan. And as you can see, everything down bottom, from top to bottom I own, all the way down. And I'm truly.
Amir Khan didn't pull any punches when he claimed Floyd was on the verge of bankruptcy. He didn't frame it as a rumor. He framed it as karma. Khan suggested that years of arrogance and burning bridges had finally come back to haunt the champ. He didn't provide bank statements, but his absolute confidence was enough to send shockwaves through the sport. He looked at the camera and said it as if it were common knowledge. Floyd is going through it.
70 fights, 150 fights, 300 fights. Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. And in the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that
the greatest of all time.
Khan also took aim at Floyd's recent political pivot. When Mayweather started making very public, paid-looking appearances for international causes, Khan claimed it was purely transactional. The accusation was simple. Floyd's voice is now for sale. If a billionaire needs to take a check just to stand next to a flag, it suggests a level of financial pressure that Money Mayweather should never feel. It turns a legacy into a service for hire.
Why you not coming back to fight? Why you not coming back to fight? So I look at the fight game, I said, okay. I said, you know, fighters fighting, they make 3 million, 4 million, 6 million, 7 million. Some may make 10 or 20 million, but I'm doing exhibitions and I'm making 20, 25 million, 100 million for exhibitions. So why would I come back and fight?
The rumors got even darker when Khan mentioned Floyd's alleged legal drama in Dubai. He spoke about bounced checks, house arrests, and trouble with the local government. While these claims haven't been proven in a court of law, they've spread like wildfire. In a world where your reputation is your currency, having people believe your checks are bouncing in Dubai is a massive blow to your creditability.
I got 9 skyscrapers, and Andrew Mathias, you know, great business guy. This is what he told me one day. We took a walk. We was in New York. We was taking a walk. He said, "You see that building right there?" He said, "Yeah." We said, "We own that. You see this building? We own it." So we was walking and walking. Then he said, "You know, a boxer makes money when he boxing. A football player makes money when he playing football. Basketball player makes money when he playing basketball." He said, "But New York real estate, you make."
Then you have Eddie Hearn, the man who runs some of the biggest shows in boxing. Hearn's take was more professional, but just as damaging. He looked at Floyd's endless string of exhibition matches against influencers and nobodies, and asked, why? A billionaire doesn't risk his dignity to fight in a half-empty gym in the UK or Japan for a few $1 million unless he needs that money to pay for the private jet he just posted on Instagram.
In random places.
Yeah.
For 5 million here, 10 million there.
No, he's just a big spender. You can't spend like that, you know? Like,
this guy has a lot of chains.
So many chains, bro. Chains, that's a depreciating asset.
Yeah.
Get yourself something that'll hold.
Floyd actually felt the heat enough to respond, filming a video in his gym to mock the broke allegations. But the very fact that he responded was a tell. In the past, he would have just laughed it off. Now, he's actively arguing with promoters and boxers to defend his bank account. It's the behavior of a man who knows the narrative is slipping away from him and is desperate to regain control of his undefeated status.
It's
Money Mayweather.
It's who he is. I've always thought that he's a horrible person, and this is every bit of...
People don't like Floyd.
You start a business, but I need
People
you guys
do
to
not like somebody who's gonna just constantly show money.
The most concrete evidence of the struggle is the collapse of Mayweather Boxing Plus Fitness. This wasn't just a side hustle. It was supposed to be his retirement plan. But with gyms closing left and right, the brand is becoming a cautionary tale. Court documents show a trail of angry investors who feel they were scammed by the Mayweather name. They paid for a premium brand but received zero support, leading to millions in losses.
I told the guys, well, I'm gonna bring y'all another 8 figures. I said, I'm gonna bring you guys 8 figures now. I know I gave you guys 7 figures but I'm gonna bring you guys 8 figures. It was paying off. So what I did was I went and dumped 9 figures on him. When you see me, you see the cars, you see the flashy. It's a lot that comes along with that. A lot of smart moves that's behind us.
These aren't just faceless corporations. These are people who put their retirement funds into Floyd's hands. Seeing his name attached to so much financial failure is damaging his TBE legacy more than any loss in the ring ever could. The Mayweather name used to be a gold mine. Now, for many business owners, it's a red flag. The trust is gone, and in business, trust is the one thing you can't buy back.
Got my own liquid, and if you, that means cash. For those, I break it down in layman's terms. Even though I got a lot of cash, OPM.
Okay.
OPM. You don't always have to use your money. That's why it's very important for y'all to make sure y'all keep y'all credit right.
When you look at the big picture, the math is scary. The massive pay-per-view checks have dried up. The hype for his exhibitions is fading. His $400 million real estate portfolio is being questioned by major investigators. If the $120 million lawsuit against Business Insider goes to discovery, Floyd might be forced to show his actual bank records in court, which is the last thing a man built on secrets wants to do.